What was your reaction when you heard that Jason Van Dyke was guilty?
I think I was in a in a state of disbelief. It was a spirit of relief, and I'm real ecstatic about it.
Okay. I think a lot of people in the community were tuned in that day. A lot of people watching at work, online, they were watching television. It was something that the city, I think, was sitting on pins and needles. Let's actually head to some juror sound, see what the jurors had to say.
We didn't come here because of race, or we came here for right and wrong.
We realized that as a police officer, a trained officer who'd been doing his work for about 20 years, that he should have realized what the situation was, and instead of escalating the situation, should have at least looked at other options.
So you were in the courtroom and you got to see firsthand what was happening. You've been in a courtroom since day one.
Yeah.
Do you feel like justice was served in this instance?
I do. Right now, legally, Jason Van Dyke is a convicted murderer. Also, he was convicted on every single count of aggravated battery with a firearm of the shots equivalent to that he pumped into Laquan McDonald's body. So I know we're not completely out of the woods yet. A lot of people are concerned about the sentencing, but I believe that I think the charges will run consecutively and not concurrent. So we'll wait to see how that plays out.
Okay, well, I do have to ask you, there's another side to this story. Let's listen to what Van Dyke's attorney had to say regarding how this verdict affects police officers in our community.
It really is kind of a sad day for law enforcement, I think, because we've all heard about the Ferguson effect, and I can only imagine that if police officers think that they can never fire against somebody that is acting the way Laquan McDonald did when they're 12 feet away from him, I think that what we are going to have is police officers are going to become security guards. There will not be a police officer getting out of a car to confront somebody. And maybe that's what everyone wants. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Okay, I wanted you to hear that sound because I think a lot of us look at this case as that there were two sides to this case. We have the police on one side and we have the community on one side, both expressing passionately how they feel and what they think needs to happen in the community. What would be your response to this?
I'm not sure if Mr. Herbert believes that himself. I understand that he has a job to do in representing his client. And as far as regards of how Laquan McDonald was acting that night, Laquan was walking away from Chicago Police Department. It was only because of Jason Van Dyke is the only reason that Laquan is not with us today. He escalated that situation. I believe as far as the Ferguson effect that he's referring to, that verdict is only a bad day for corrupt police officers. Officers that want to really do their job and serve and protect our community, they're going to continue to do that. But as far as officers who want to continue to violate our civil rights, especially in the black community, it was a horrible day for them, and we're going to continue to hold them accountable.
So I hear you drawing a distinct line between corrupt cops, what you call corrupt cops, and cops that are in the community policing and trying to keep the community safe.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me, how do you expect us to heal together as a community? Obviously, you're on the front lines in the community as an activist.
Well, you can have healing without some form or some sense of accountability. And I think that's what the community received Friday, some sense of accountability for the actions of Chicago Police Department. But it's not done yet. The officers who lied and falsified police reports, they are yet awaiting trial. And we need to make sure that justice is served in their case as well, in their trial. And also, the community is going far to even think about federal charges. We believe that he violated Laquan McDonald's federal civil rights, and that he needs to be held accountable on a federal level. So it's going to take some time. It didn't take overnight for us to get here, so it's not going to take overnight for us to get out of here. So. But we're going to make sure that we see this thing all the way through.
Okay, we can expect to see you involved in those efforts.
Absolutely.
Okay.